Um, Hello, friends. Good to be here and to see you. Minimum wise, I see the digits of your names at least. Today, let me introduce you a bit about e-mobil BW, and let me introduce to you, as Gang asked, what we discussed today already. The first thing is, I probably think that you've never heard about e-mobil BW. e-mobil BW is an innovation state agency in the nicest state of Germany. It's Baden-Württemberg. And the states in Germany are relatively independent in the most topics. So we are very proud to support our real famous industry worldwide. e-mobil BW, even if the name says electric mobility, is an innovation agency standing on three pillars. The one pillar is automotive industry, including electric mobility. The second pillar is hydrogen technologies, what includes, as we call it scientifically, including the derivates. Yeah, derivates means ammonium, methanols, methanes, synthetic fuels, whatever. And the third pillar, what we are standing on is on the headline, it's digitalization, what includes at least the IT organization of intermodular mobility chains, and additionally all the IT within a car, all the usage of a car, like a mobile phone or a device or whatever in the internet, the HMIs and all the AI systems. This is what you speak of is robotics, autonomous driving, and AI systems within the cars, within the trucks, within the vans. This is e-mobil BW, three pillars: digitalization, hydrogen, and automotive. And today we discussed a lot about hydrogen usage. Maybe I can include the one or other thing later. But what for me is of importance to give you information what is going around in here. What is the specific interest of the group? I prepared some topics, but if there is more specific questions and other topics, I'm able to include it.
Yeah, thank you. The question was, and I remembered our visit together with the Sally Tires and other people in Hanover. We were asking you, is there any doubt in Germany? The Americans asked this in electromobility, and it was fantastic to have 10-15 minute argumentation of you that the things are done. The investments are done. There is no hesitation on this. Now we have the elections here in Germany in 3 days. There is discussion still. The industry gives some signs, especially here in Stuttgart. But I thought it would be good to have you here to make kind of what we call in the German TV fact-finding mission. There are many opinions, and maybe you can just let us know what is your point of view of the real facts of the investment, of the course the industry will take in Germany, whatever the result of the election may be on Sunday.
Yeah, okay. So I will pick it up. What we are doing besides our three pillars is that we try to make a clear and not lobbyistic analysis of the automotive sector worldwide. And I will share some of the findings and some of the ideas with you. There is at least, and I will come out to your question. At least, do people believe in electric mobility? And I will give you a clear answer later. Yeah, but let me begin with some information, because what we all the time say, digits don't lie. Yeah, there is at least 4 big challenges for every automotive company worldwide, even if it is an OEM or a supplier. The one thing is what we see is the technological side. We see that one of the big fields of growth is electrification. But what does it mean, electrification? Many people speak about the full electrification of the driveline. But if you look to the car itself, all the things from the steering to the air condition to whatever is today electrified. If you look to the internal combustion engine, you see that the big progress as well as the big financial growth of the internal combustion engine is all the peripheral systems of electrification of the internal combustion engine. So there is a lot of growth in a lot of topics. And you see that the mechanical parts, by the worth creating, is going down year by year. And you see additionally that the electrification, the growth is going up year by year. Second thing, what is a big challenge is, as I introduced, is digitalization. What means it at least? In the past, there had been people constructing an internal combustion engine, and when it was finished, they have put all the parts around it, and then in the end, a car with 4 tires had been built. Today, you are producing the other way around. What is really a big influence also by the IT companies. This means that you look to customer behavior, you follow the process chains of customers. Customers are very different. You follow the process chains of the customer. You try to support him in his life situations by describing a process. Then you build up software to support this process. And after you made the software, you are building the mechanical machine around the software. Sometimes it's a device like a mobile phone, and sometimes it's a car, and sometimes it's something else. It's your heating. So a car of the future, a truck of the future, works as a software with tires on the one hand side, and it is a device in the personal chain, personal IT chain of the customer. This is the second big change, and this is really a challenge for the OEM companies. And you see the big differences from new companies, for example, like NIO or Tesla, which started with those processes first to create the software and then to create the car. And you see the traditional companies like Ford, like BYD, like Volkswagen, who had to make a transformation of all the company to produce vehicles like this. Third big change is automation. We are one of the biggest regions worldwide in automation technology. We can build automated machinery for nearly everything. For tinny parts, for body in white, for painting, for car production, nearly all the glasses of mobile phones from Apple are produced on Baden-Württemberg machines. And nearly all the chips worldwide are produced on machines where is a laser technology from Baden-Württemberg installed. So automation and machinery is our topic. And very often you have never heard the names of those companies, but Baden-Württemberg is inside in nearly every automation. This automation for automotive branch means that we produce more and more cars with less and less persons. We automize and we are scaling up big machineries. And the fourth of the big changes is a not technical one. We see since 5 to 10 years something what we call local for local. we see that every company which is important worldwide is producing, is developing, is making research, is selling worldwide. Let me give you some examples you know, and examples maybe you know less. If you look to Tesla, Tesla started as a relatively little company in California, and today Tesla has spread its research and its production locations worldwide. They are in Europe, in Germany. They know why they are going to Germany. They are in China. They are in America. So they have a footprint in all the three continents. If you look to Toyota, Toyota is producing in North America, Toyota is producing in Japan, Toyota is producing in the north of France. And as Tesla does, Toyota is producing the most of the cars in Europe, which they sell in Europe. The most of the cars they sell in Asia, they produce in Asia, and the most of the cars they sell in North America, they are producing there. And the German car industry, which is very international-wise in its location, today is producing 25% of all the German branded vehicles are produced in Germany. 75% are produced worldwide. The biggest locations of German car production are not in Germany. They are in China as well as in USA. Even what you know is that German car brands are the biggest car exporters from US to worldwide. This is a side mark. Yeah, if we now find it very helpful to have more tariffs between US and Europe, this means that German BMWs and Mercedes produced in North America and USA, if they are transported to Europe, they get extra taxes from Europe. This is a very fine situation for our companies and very bad for USA workers. So our car industry is spread worldwide, and the mass of our production of our companies is not located in Germany. It is spread all over the world. If you look to the production in Germany, this is not of your biggest interest. You are interested in the branch, not what we are doing in the location in Germany. 10 years ago, we have produced some 6 million cars in Germany. Today, we produce 4 millions. Those 4 millions include the Teslas. Minimum-wise, 30% of those cars are electric. And if you look to the 2/3 with a combustion engine, the most of those cars have an electric periphery around the internal combustion engine, which is the worth-creating part. And if you look to the internal combustion engine itself, you see that the most combustion engines which are installed and applicated in Germany, the engines themselves are not produced in Germany. Yeah, there is some premium brands like BMW who produce no engine in Germany. They are all imported, and then you get the electric periphery, and then they are installed into the car. And if you look to the brand Mercedes, for example, and the new car you probably don't know in USA, the CLA, it's a coupe, it's a little coupe, a bit comparable to what you had known the Volkswagen Jetta 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, nearly the same size. This car is getting a new generation now, and it will be produced as well as electric and also as an internal combustion vehicle. And this internal combustion engine will be produced together with Geely and Renault in China, will be imported in Germany, and then the car will be used in Europe or exported or whatever. So everything what we are doing is international. I think this is very important to see this. And we see that the fields of growth is software, is chips, it's electric periphery. And And we see that the products themselves, if they are installed in a vehicle for the customer, at least our vehicles worldwide find a very intensive interest of customers, especially in Asia, in North America, and in Europe, and in minor numbers in South America and in Africa. There is more light trucks and whatever, and SUVs and so on. Yeah, so there is a big change. Another thing what we have to think of, and there is a big difference between the three continents, is the human-machine interface of the cars. America, Europe, and Asian behavior of customers is fully different. If you go to China and you want to sell a car in China, at least it's the customer's Tamagotchi to play with the car all the time, whether it is standing or driving or whatever. There is, like in the Neo, there is the little Nomi installed, which talks to you all the time, sometimes more than you enjoy. Yeah, but Asian customers really enjoy this interaction between the car and the customer, what means the driver as well as the co-drivers. Even all the screens, they have a fully other design, and the design experience of Asian customers is very different to what we know in Europe. Then you go to Europe, and in Europe you see that there's another expectation of human-machine interface. First of all, the experience in Europe for the raw drive abilities of the cars are the highest worldwide. Yeah, we are driving harder. We are driving harder curves. We are driving heavier on the motorway and whatever. So engine behavior, suspension behavior, tire behavior is fully different in Europe, especially in Germany. This means that all the sustainability activities for those vehicles have to differ. But also the human-machine interface is more oriented on the driver and the driver handling the car. And we have another experience for all the screens. They are reduced, clear, fast to be catched with the information. And today they are very interactive concerning voice control of the car. What is a big difference? And we start very intensively by AI steering with the experience of the driver to give you a good support by the car to the driver doing his heavy job. If you go to North America, this is what you know best. The behavior has to be very clear, very quickly to be understood if you change the car from A to B. And the experience of failure-free is of big, big importance. So 3 continents, 3 HMIs. And now what you have to do as a producer is you have to build your car modular so that you are able to have a scaled up production of the different supplier parts as well as of the other cars. And you have to make the car clear for the experience in Asia or in Europe or in North America. The markets are not the same. If you look to trucks, it is more different. Yeah, but this is another story as well. So I wanted, by all those words, I wanted to explain that there is a clear perspective that the future of the driveline will be electric. Electrification has a lot of advantages. One of the advantages is if you have at least the possibility of having green current, it's driving experience, the car is climate neutral. The other thing is the sportive way of driving. If you have ever made your curves on the Nürburgring or whatever, or in Hockenheim or in Monza, you know that you don't have a chance to win a race with an internal combustion engine car against an electric car. This is the reason when you go and follow, probably what you know is the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Ford sometimes has won it in the 60s. Yeah. Very often Porsche has done, and the most time, as I remember, it was Ferrari. It's one of the most important races worldwide. You don't have a chance to win if you don't have a hybrid. You need the hybrid at least to drive the length of the course. Therefore, you need the combustion engine, yeah, and the density of the fuel. And additionally, to race as quick as possible, you need the additional electrification. Otherwise, you don't have any chance. So even in race, if it is allowed in this special way of Tourenwagen driving, or it was in Formula One also, yeah, you see that if you don't have electrification, you will not win. Yeah, this is at least the story of electrification. What I try to explain all the time, and this is the reason why we discuss other topics in Germany, and this is what you hear, we are not able to produce electric for the future. We will change electrification. Actually, we have, for the different premium products, we have the drivelines with the lowest consumption of current. This is important because the size of the battery and the energy storage of the battery is very limited. Everybody knows this is a question of range, and this is a question of speed, and in winter it's a question of heating. Therefore, efficiency of heaters, efficiency of charging, efficiency of the driveline is of biggest importance. And if you look to the actual premium class drivelines, they have a usage what is around 60% of what had been sold 5 years ago. Yeah, look to the products, it is really changing, and it is changing year by year. So same carrosse, same teeny parts. On the other hand side, the driveline makes a bit and great experience. And then there's a big but. If you look to the big but, this means range is limited because of limited batteries. And there is regions in the world where you need the big range. When I want to pass Mojave Desert, yeah, and I really love it, yeah, I feel very fine if I go from Palm Springs to LA. I feel really very, very fine if I have a combustion engine, because running around several hundred kilometers straight on, it's not very sportive, yeah, even if you don't allowed to drive, yeah. Even if it is going only straight forward. But there is so many interested police persons, they stop you sometimes, you know it. And therefore you drive with low velocity, but hundreds of kilometers. And today the battery technology is not valid to do a tour like this. Therefore, German companies have decided that they have a big variety also in future for different locations in the world concerning the drivelines. The leading technology will be electric, and every year the share of delivery will become more and more electric. But for all the other possibilities, we still have the diesels. You need the diesels, for example, for Africa. You need them in some Asian markets. Yeah, North America is not really a diesel market. Yeah, besides the trucks, as a heavy trucks. And in Europe, diesel is going down. Today, we sell much more electric vehicles than diesel vehicles in Europe. Yeah, this has changed fully. We will produce for some regions normal fuel, 89, 92, you would say, octane fuel engines. We will produce. These are the cheapest engines, at least. This is low tech, what you need for cheaper cars. If you have a bit more money to be installed in the car, you will go to hybrid technologies, take the best of two worlds, and you see it with a lot of OEMs and the suppliers support this. This all makes a lot of sense. And then there is some special topics, for example, if you go to Brazil, in Brazil, also the German OEMs, but all the other ones as well, they deliver ethanol engines, because you have all this sugar production over there, and they use all the sugar what they don't need for meal. They put this sugar into refinery processes, and they produce ethanol, what is not very common in other regions in the world. So it's 100% ethanol engines, which at least is a growing plant. And using this growing plant, it can be also CO2 neutral in a circle. Ethanol also is used as a mixture within our fuel in Europe. It's different to Northern America, 89ers, 92ers or 96ers. We have in Europe, we have the E5 and E10 fuels, which is also an auto or standard fuel. But it means that we have a mixture of 10% up to or 5% or 10% ethanols inside. They have not the same burning conditions as well as a normal fossil fuel, but you can mix them by, and so you have a very good and positive impact also on climate change. And within diesels, we have 7% esters included. So this is a bit, I don't know how technical wise you're interested in. So also, as I described, software is different, HMI is different, but as well, the engine technologies is different. And if you will be prepared for all the different world markets, you have to prepare to produce a mixture of those topics. We have different strategies with the different companies. What you see, for example, what you know best is if you go to Tesla or if you go to the Ford Lightning plant. You see that there is an assembly line where you can only produce this one product with this one driveline. If this product doesn't find its market, every second stroke in the production is not full, and you lose a lot of money. If you look, for example, what BMW is doing, or if you go to the most of the Mercedes plants, you get mixed assembly lines. Mixed assembly line means that you have a mixture of production of internal combustion engines, of hybrids, and of battery electric vehicles. And the assembly line is full every day. Yeah, because you can mixture on the same line, and you have stroke-wise different vehicles to be produced. So again, what I said, automation and machinery is a key, at least to produce in very limited plants a lot of vehicles by mixing the drivelines. Yeah, so all the things they link into each other. Yeah, and this is what we are trying to do. We see additionally a lot of coming back to German machinery. If you go to German machinery, and if you go, for example, to the Ontario plants or to the Mexican plants or to the Tesla plant in California, and you look who is pressing the tinny parts, and you look to the robots, and you look to other machinery, and you follow the little signs on the machinery, you see that in every plant, Baden-Württemberg is inside. This is our self-definition. If I ask you, have you ever heard of Baden-Württemberg? The first thing what people say is, I cannot pronunciate this. What is Baden-Württemberg? This is the reason why in different locations in the world, we say we are the land. Yeah, because this is what people can remember. So Baden-Württemberg is the land. The second thing, what people remember from Baden-Württemberg is that we have Heidelberg and the Black Forest. What is really very nice, and I can promise you, besides Heidelberg and Black Forest, we have a lot of very, very good wine. Yeah, so come to Baden-Württemberg makes a lot of sense. And the life conditions is relatively well. The next thing, what people don't remember is, do you have cities? Nobody ever heard of the cities of Baden-Württemberg, and nobody will remember. You know Paris, you know Hamburg, you know Munich, maybe Berlin, and then it ends up in Germany. Yeah, but there is something like Stuttgart, a very little city with a lot of big brands like Mercedes, Porsche, very close to his Audi, and Bosch, and all the other companies you've never heard of. So Baden-Württemberg has a self-definition of our companies, our technology. And there's things we don't have. We don't have raw materials. We don't have own energy. And what is the most limiting factor for us in growth, at least, we don't have enough talents. So we are looking worldwide for talents. We have an unemployment rate which is very, very low. It's not zero. This is not true, but it's so close to zero, yeah, that we don't find talents for a lot of things. We have therefore research centers in Asia, in India, a lot of them in California, a lot in Canada, where we do our business, and we invite people from worldwide to come to Stuttgart. In the region of Stuttgart today, 50% of the people in here have a non-German origin in one generation. Yeah, so this is a real melting pot. What is very, very interesting. It's really a good thing to work here with the best talents of the world. And what we actually feel very fine with is there is a lot of scientists leaving US, coming to Germany and to Europe because of the free way of working in here. And we are very happy to invite talents to come to us. I'm coming to an end, and I will be very happy if we have the chance to see us on the Hannover Industry Fair. Sorry, therefore, Hannover is not Baden-Württemberg. It's not far away, but it's not Baden-Württemberg. It's also a very good location, but other people can prize it. Yeah, we will be happy to invite you to the Baden-Württemberg booth over there. And if there is any questions, let me know. We are very excited since decades to work together with people, with companies, with scientists in US and North America. My personal history is that some decades ago, I had been part of the team launching the Sprinter in North America. I don't know how often I had been there. I love the region. I love the people. So if you are on the Baden-Württemberg booth, let us be in close connection, and we will try to explain you more. Thank you very much.